I've been journaling every day for 4 months now, and today I'm going to show you my complete pocket notebook journal system. Before we dive in, my current notebook choice is a Rhodia A6 softcover dot grid. I prefer dot grid because the grid helps to keep things neat and aligned, but I can still ignore it when I want to sketch or write freely. This pocket notebook is my journal, my diary, my life tracker, commonplace, to-do lists, all in one, and they are all in a chronological order. I write down the book number, the start date, and the end date. Every month start with my daily highlights and tracker, then I have daily entries where I think out loud, journal, plan, and track my time. Whenever I start a new book, I always leave 2 pages for the index. Although honestly I don't really update it anymore, but I just leave it to future-proof it someday I want to make time to update it. So now instead I use this index tab for important entries that I want to find quickly or just want my future self to come and look at this again. The start of every month, the first thing I do is to set the daily highlights, one line or a few keywords about each day. They also works like a mini index so that I can see my whole month in a glance, and if I want to relive in the moment or like see what I've been up to, I can just flip to the day. And here's what's surprising. I used to think that my life is boring, same work, same routine, same food every day, but deep down I know it's not true, but there's no evidence to prove it. But this tracker became a proof that wasn't true. I'm actually either learning, new things or like trying different things and stuff. And suddenly this a bit really simple. I use the page vertically so that 30 days fit on one spread. I write down the daily highlight, the month, and the year. Then I list the dates and days of the week, and that's about it. Every day I just update one line, and sometimes I forget to update then I just look at my daily entries and update it. And that's about my daily highlights. And next is my life tracker, or you could call it a habit tracker, but I track more than just habits, things like hang out with friends or FaceTiming my family. Most habit tracker just use check boxes like if I did it or if I didn't do it, but I want more context, like okay, I exercise, but how long did I exercise? How long did I talk to my family? Or like who did I hang out with my friends? For me, I track 6 things: code study, reading, social, family, exercise, and YouTube. Then in the next table, I have space for remarks. This way I can see patterns like, oh, it's been a few days since I called my parents, or like I need to read more books this week. How I set this up again, I use the page vertically so that 30 days fit on one spread. Then I set the number of words to make sure that I have space to write down the things I'm tracking. So I write down the date and write down the day. And for me, I'm tracking 16, so like 6 grid. And then beside it, I put another table, which is also like another 6 grid to write some remarks. And next, I also track my sleep. I track the total hours and also when I actually sleep in. Did I wake up in the middle of the night? How long did I stay awake? So for this sleep tracker, same thing. Then I write down the date and day and the total hours and the hours. And then I draw the lines on my sleep windows. And of course my phone has all that data, but I don't really look at it. Writing it down by hand makes me aware of the patterns, and also I can customize it however I want. I also write down the remarks if any. So that's how I start every month with the tracker, and now let me show you my daily entries. Now for the daily entry, this is where I spend most of my time. So my daily entry start with the date. So today is 24 December 2025, Wednesday. Yeah, usually I just say like morning, didn't get enough sleep. Or like like what I eat or all the things. I just write down randomly. My daily entry are really free for there's no like stretch. Or every day I will start with the date. So everything goes here, like my to-dos, random thoughts, quotes, lyrics, the song I'm listening to, all the things, whatever come to my mind. And that's why also my social media usage has been reduced by 95%, cause instead of spending my time scrolling, I'm just spending time with my notebook, which replaced my social media scrolling. I will share about it more in the next video, so stay tuned. And the next thing I'm going to share is what I call time tracking method. It is my modified version of time boxing. So how I start is I write my to-do list and roughly estimate of when I will do it and how long it would take. And then I create a grid, hours of the day in a row, and the 15-minute interval in columns. The traditional time boxing method never really worked for me because yes, I will just block it, but then I will do something completely different instead. So instead of time blocking, I track what I do. And the tracking made me aware of like, oh, I'm playing a game for like 2 hours, I've been watching too much movies, I really need to get back to what I'm doing. So right now, I'm more aware and more likely to get back on tracks. So yeah, this time tracking method really helped me aware of what I'm actually doing. It's really help me get back on track instead of the traditional typeousing method. Alright, that's my complete pocket notebook journal system. I write every day in my daily entries, but for the tracker, I don't really edit it every day. I do it almost every day, but not every day. So there are some days that I will mix, then I will just go back to my daily entry and see what I did in that day and just fill in the tracker. I'm really happy that I'm journaling and recording my life in these little pocket notebooks, and I can't wait to capture more. Yeah, that's about my pocket notebook journal system, and as always, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.